Well, Sabbath greetings to everyone. Hope you had a great week. It's been a great week here. It's been a very somewhat hectic week as we just got back just a couple of hours ago from the preteen camp in Missouri. And so I traveled there actually yesterday and made it there last evening to pick up my family there at camp. And so I spent the week here. And thankfully it was a very productive week, but I don't like being here without my family. But other than that, I tried to make the most of it, and it was productive. I had quite a few deadlines to meet with regards to festival coordination, coordinating the feast for the site in the Dells. So in that regard, it was very productive. And so, but it's been a rather long trip these last couple days going there and then coming back today, but we're preparing for a wonderful Sabbath. It's not quite the Sabbath yet here. We've got a little bit of time, but it was very enjoyable just to spend an evening there and then to spend overnight, and then of course just this morning there at preteen camp. Of course I've been there before several years, but not spending the whole year there, but just spending a little bit of time there. It was interesting to be able to talk to everybody after the camp and pretty much, kind of winded down, and everyone was getting ready to go back to their respective homes. It's such an amazing experience, and if you haven't been there and you haven't really kind of dug in and been involved in the preteen camp, certainly the teen camp as well. I've never been to the teen camp myself other than when I was a camper many moons ago, many years ago. But the preteen camp, it is an amazing experience, and it's not, it's not all, it's not the perfect camp. There isn't such a thing, frankly, because we're still human beings, and as long as we're still human beings and in this flesh, we still have to deal with people things that come up, relationship things that come up from time to time. But overall, somebody mentioned, I'm not going to mention any names here on the video, but you know who you are, and we were talking about the experience there at camp, and one of the things that really had struck this particular individual is that it's so interesting to see throughout the week, to see the government of God in action, to see it working, to see it functioning in such a wonderful way, and then to take that even further and to understand that when you do things God's way, there's good fruits. It's not like everything just goes, all smoothly all the time. I mean, what would we learn if it was just smooth all the time? I mean, there are things that stretch us and help us to learn more about ourselves, learn more about other people, relationship type things. But overall, when the government of God is functioning the way that it's supposed to, the way that God has ordained it to happen in the Church of God, there are blessings, and it's a wonderful experience, and the kids benefit so greatly from camp. My kids, of course, I don't know very many kids that just, oh yay, we're going home today. Most of them were sad, and my kids, we talked a lot about it on the way home, all the experiences that they had, everything they learned. It's such a wonderful thing that's being done there, and I so appreciate the leadership of Mr. Wally Smith, and I'm not, trying to give him a big head or anything. He knows how I feel. He's done such a tremendous job these last 7 years, and I appreciate everything that he's doing, and I know the parents of the children that that send their children to camp, and all the staff and everybody that's worked there appreciates Mr. Wally Smith for all the talents and strengths that he has, and it's been a wonderful experience for him, I know, and a wonderful experience for a lot of people. And that preteen camp will keep right on going, and certainly I want to continue to pray for God's blessing, but we're trying to benefit from the ways of God. And our calling in this way of life has benefits. There are tremendous benefits. And I know you're seeing that if you've been doing this very long at all. But as new people come in, they can build on this enthusiasm, this new truth that they're finding, and that's exactly what they find is that, wow, this way of life really does work. It has tremendous benefits. It's such a blessing. And one thing that struck me is always, Psalm 133, it says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. To dwell together in unity. What a beautiful thing. That is God's mind. He loves unity. He loves when we love each other, when we work together. And no, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We don't all do everything perfectly, but we certainly try to do it with tremendous unity, and we work out things as they come up, and that's just the stuff of life. That's what gives us all this experience that's so worthwhile. And it's such a beautiful thing to see the government of God in action, to see it working, and to know that ultimately, beyond just what we're seeing here in action, we know that ultimately that way of life, the government of God, is going to spread all around the world. And, of the increase of his government, there shall be no end. It's going to be a magnificent time when everyone is truly working for the benefit of other people, thinking more about other people than they do about themselves, and really focusing to make that a special time for other people. And when this whole world is functioning that way, that's what God has in mind as he builds a family, as he's ultimately doing that right now during this 6,000 years, and very soon during the 1,000 years, we're going to see a very, very different world that is dwelling together in unity. It'll take some time. And it'll take some help from us as kings and priests, and working in that government hand in hand and arm in arm, and working with Jesus Christ, and certainly under Jesus Christ as the King of Kings. But we look forward to that time when we have an opportunity to change the world. Oh, it's wonderful. And so I know that Mr. Smith and everybody there at the camp certainly appreciates all the prayers that you have been petitioning God about as far as the camp goes, and it was a tremendous success, and it was really nice to be there, and I miss it, and so maybe I'll have opportunity to be there in the future again in some capacity, helping and serving in that way. But it was a wonderful opportunity to at least spend a little bit of time there, and to see that, and to see how it affected some of those people that were there for the first time, maybe serving for the first time. It was magnificent. So anyway, it's great to be back here. It's great to have my family back here. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to have them back here. And so I hope it hasn't been too noisy in the background. We got a lot of things going on, just trying to finish everything up before the Sabbath, and looking very much forward to seeing everyone in the Dells, everyone who'll be there anyway, seeing the Dells, and I know there'll still be some that are traveling, but should be able to see many of the folks there in the Dells. I'm looking very much forward to that. And wherever you'll be, I hope you have a tremendous and profitable Sabbath. I love you all very, very much, and please continue to pray for one another, and pray for those that are hurting and sick, and just continue to keep those prayers going for one another. And I look forward to seeing many of you in the weeks ahead. Of course, next weekend we'll be traveling again. Been a lot of travel this summer. I warned you all we're going to be traveling a lot this summer, but we'll be in Kansas City next weekend, and looking forward to seeing many of my family there, including my younger brother who's going to be back from England. So we'll look forward to seeing him and his family. And so I hope you have a tremendous Sabbath, a tremendous upcoming week, and we'll see the folks there in the Dells, and the rest of you we'll see in the weeks ahead. Love you all. Have a tremendous Sabbath. Take care.